The price of greed. Once upon a time, in a bustling city of Abere, there lived a man called Alade, known for his immense wealth, but even more so for his insatiable greed. Though he owned multiple houses, vast lands, and influential connections, his thirst for more was never quenched. He had 3 wives: Alima, a Hausa woman; Ashake, a Yoruba woman; and Chiamaka, an Igbo woman. Each wife bore him a son, yet Alade was unsatisfied. He desperately wanted a daughter, but his desire was not born out of love. He often confided in his closest friends, saying, "If I have a daughter, I will marry her off to a wealthy man, whether young or old, and use that connection to demand whatever I desire." His wives, unaware of his true intentions, prayed earnestly for a daughter, believing it would bring him happiness. But each time one of them gave birth to a son, Alade would sigh heavily and mutter another wasted effort. Frustrated that he had no daughter, Alade turned to traditional priests, fortune tellers, and anyone who claimed to have the power to change his fate. One day, he was directed to a powerful forest goddess who was said to grant even the most impossible request. Deep within the forest, Alade found the goddess, her long hair flowing past her waist, dressed in animal skin, with an ancient cat by her side. She gazed at him knowingly before speaking. "The spirits have heard your request," she said. "You shall have a daughter." She handed him a mysterious potion. "Rub this on your face when you return home. The first wife you see, after doing so, will conceive a female child. But be warned, your intentions will determine her fate. You must never choose a husband for her, and after her birth, you must bring her back to the gods." Alade, blinded by greed, ignored the warning. He rushed home and did exactly as instructed. Soon after, one of his wives became pregnant, and months later gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Alade named her Omolewa, meaning the beautiful one. He was ecstatic, but not because of fatherly love. He had already begun plotting her future. He never returned to the goddess as instructed, sealing his own fate. Omolewa grew into a kind-hearted, intelligent young woman. Unlike her father, she valued love and kindness over wealth. She often helped the less privileged and questioned her father's obsession with riches. When she turned 18, Alade wasted no time arranging a marriage for her to an elderly chief known for his vast lands and political influence. Omolewa protested, pleading with her father to let her choose her own path. "You are my daughter. You do as I say," Alade thundered. "This marriage will bring me wealth and respect. You owe me this much." Heartbroken, Omolewa turned to her mother, begging her to intervene. But her mother, fearing Alade's wrath, remained silent. The night before the wedding, an old woman arrived at their home. Her eyes held deep wisdom, and her voice carried a strange power. "My dear child," she said to Omolewa, "your destiny is greater than what your father sees. Do you wish to escape this fate?" Tears filled Omolewa's eyes. "I just want to be free," she whispered. The old woman smiled and placed a small pendant in her hand. "Wear this tonight. When the time comes, you will know what to do. The next day, as the wedding ceremony was about to begin, Omolewa clutched the pendant tightly. A sudden gush of wind swept through the gathering, and the pendant began to glow. In the blink of an eye, Omolewa vanished before everyone's eyes. Gasps filled the air. Alade fell on his knees, trembling. The guests whispered in fear, "The gods are taking her." The furious chief, humiliated before the entire city, demanded the return of all his lavish gifts he had given Alade. News spread like wildfire. Alade had tried to sell his daughter for wealth, and the gods had punished him. Alade's downfall was swift. His business partners withdrew from him, his riches depreciated, his wives left him, even his sons, whom he never truly loved, disowned him. He was left with nothing. Alone and forgotten, he finally realized the truth. True wealth was not in gold or land, but in love, integrity, and the respect of those around him. Meanwhile, Omolewa found herself in a distant land, safe and free. The mysterious old woman reappeared and revealed her true identity. She was a guardian spirit sent to protect those whose destiny were being manipulated. "Your heart is pure, Omolewa," she said. "You are meant to carve your own paths, not be sold for greed." Years later, Omolewa became a respected leader, helping young women escape forced marriages and giving them opportunities to shape their own future. She never returned to Abere. As for Alade, he lived out the rest of his days in solitude, haunted by the price of his greed. Lesson learned. 1. Greed leads to destruction. Alade's selfish desire for wealth blinded him to what truly mattered. 2. Destiny cannot be controlled. No matter how hard he tried, Alade could not manipulate his daughter's fate. 3. True riches comes from love and kindness. Omolewa, despite having nothing, found a greater purpose and lived a fulfilling life. 4. Respect people's choice. Forcing someone into a life they do not want only leads to pain and regrets. This is the end of the story. Please share and subscribe. Bye-bye.